And for that, I'm going to ask back Markus Kleinfercher. He's in the innovation management at Infineon and responsible for the coordination of the Innovation Hub at the Vienna University of Technology and participating in the Infineon Startup Cooperation Program. Markus, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for this kind introduction. Welcome back, everybody, to the Virtual Infineon Hackathon powered by EIT Manufacturing. As said, my name is Markus Kleinfercher. I work for Infineon in the Department of Innovation Management, and I'm going to quickly run you through this session today. Our participants have been working very hard in the past 24 hours at the hackathon. As you see on the agenda today, we're going to have a quick halftime check-in on them, and I'm going to be interviewing them one by one. We have some participants that are already in line. And since this hackathon is special due to the current situation we find ourselves in, it comes with challenges that might have not occurred at an analog event. But knowing our participants, they surely made the best out of this virtual hackathon situation. So without any further ado, I hope all of my interview partners are in the line. Starting off first with Sergey Tkachov. Sergey, can you hear me? How are you doing?
Sure, can hear well. Hopefully also can hear myself.
Loud and clear. Perfect, thank you.
Or not. Perfect, yeah.
All right, Sergey.
Well, I'm doing somehow so far.
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing so far? I see it's kind of dark in your room there. You've buried yourself in work, I guess.
Kind of. I had to change temporarily the place because of the construction outside, so it's not really related to hackathon. Sorry.
All right. So starting off with my first question to you, which track did you choose and why did you choose it?
We had joined a biosensing track. So when I first met this invitation for the hackathon, first thing to do to check what are the topics, and biosensing in this case this time was a new one, so I definitely want to join that one, and I also was happy to try some new technology. In this case, the PSOC family from former Cyprus is really a nice playground. So that was the decision point for me. And then also in general, biosensing kind of is a hot topic now. All the things like wearables are booming, exploding. And now with like a smartwatch like Apple, you can measure like ECG, and these things will simply will be more and more and will intrude our lives even harder. So we have to be on this front of the wave, which is coming.
That's great to hear. All right. So you've made use of this trend of biosensing and hopped onto the train. I'm very, very exciting for your results tomorrow. What is your actual proposal on the chosen challenge of the hackathon?
Let's say initially we started with just an idea to measure something, like some biosensing biosignals. Then later on we kind of come to a kind of a story, and this story would be around let's say BCI, so brain-computer interface. So we try to address the topic of the EEG signals, and let's say to do some kind of data processing on that, possibly with machine learning. Depends how far we would be able to go till tomorrow. Yeah, but let's say that's another big thing which coming is a huge change in the human-machine interface, which is brain-computer interface. And I think again, to be one of the first one is always nice. So we selected this topic.
Great, congratulations on that. So you've told us what you chose as your proposal. What are your next steps as a team at the hackathon challenge?
So in the progress itself, we established like a basis for the communication, those kind of things, and now we analyzing the signals and kind of fighting a bit with the noise and those kind of things. So let's see how far we would be able to go in terms of like actual application with machine learning in the backend and so on. But let's say we work hard. Yesterday we went to sleep at 3:30 in the morning. So I think today it will be even longer. We'll try to pull it to some kind of.
So you're truly living.
Let's see tomorrow. I don't want to spoil anything.
All right. So you're truly living the hackathon spirit, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
And that's also one of the points to participate in hackathon.
All right. I know for a fact that you've been a kind of pioneer at hackathons organized by Infineon. You've taken part in several of them. Now it is your first one, which you're taking part virtually. So maybe you could compare or give us some insights to your experience to this hackathon this year and how it is comparable to hackathons, for example, that are analog instead of virtual.
Yeah, so the main difference is engagement. It's really hard kind of thing being virtual, basically being alone or being with your family at home, and you're not really feel that much engaged in the process itself. So it's something you have to work in this virtual event. And as I said, like we did a call and then you stay in the call and you don't interrupt it. So that was also one thing for us that we don't interrupt it. Like you want to go take a tea, go and grab it, but we don't leave the call. So we really try to keep this engagement. Otherwise you lose the focus very, very quickly. And then you have a lot of interruptions at home, like, I don't know, TV or some news. So there's always a temptation to leave the event and start to do something else. So that's very, very difficult. What is on the analog event, like on the real one, it's there, like it's granted. You come there and you're already engaged. You are in this environment with these people. So I think that's the biggest difference. And that's something you have to work. On the other hand, with virtual event, you are at home or you're in your environment. You have an access to your tools. You have an access to your maybe like some resources, boards, whatever. Which something might be missing in the online event. Like what you took with you is with you. What is on site, that's it. Here you might have maybe a bit more options, and especially like in devices and things you know well how to work with. So that's, I think, is a plus.
Yeah, and I think since you are one of the lucky ones that are participating in a hardware track, all the hardware is sent to you. I hope it was sufficient in this case, and that you don't lack any materials and stuff like that. So, all right.
That's actually also one of our ideas, to try to squeeze as much as we can from the hardware which is there, so that we don't need more. We try to not use more,
Yeah.
Stick to the track itself.
Yeah. So, and my last question to you here: how do you actually profit from taking part in a virtual hackathon like this?
So it's multiple things. One thing which is personal, I would say, it's learning. You always learn something new. As I said, we start with PSOC. We have no clue about it 1 week ago. So now we are building up this knowledge very, very quickly. So it's a huge boost, which is like a speed learning of certain topics which are relatively new. The second thing is always a networking. So maybe in this online event it's a bit less compared to the others, but compared to the live, but still you meet new people, you establish new contacts, and those people come from unexpected areas with unexpected or unknown background. So it's always interesting to speak, to share, and communicate, and possibly to build up some connections for the future.
That is great to hear. So, Sergey, thank you very much for this interview. Good luck on your next 24 hours of this hackathon. And I'm going to see you tomorrow back again, hopefully well rested.
We'll see. Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Sergey. All right. Next up, we have Deblina Chattopadhyay. I hope I pronounced that correctly. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's great to see you. It's great to be in this hackathon, in the environment, and having this interaction. It's such an honor.
Yeah, yes. Thanks for being here and taking your time, since I know that for a fact you are streaming live from India, correct?
Yes, I am. I am currently streaming from Kolkata, India, from my home. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we couldn't work together, like my teammate and I. But if it was, even if the lockdown was not there, we would be working together. But now, thanks to our track, we can work virtually.
That is great to hear on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm very sorry for the situation you're currently experiencing over there in India, but I hope everything will get better soon. Yeah, starting with my first question for you as well. Which track did you choose and why did you choose it?
We chose the circuit design track as we come from the electronics and instrumentation background. We are currently pursuing our bachelor's in that and our undergrad actually. So, and we also had this solution in mind, our project in mind. We have been meaning to do this, come up with a solution, but then thanks to this hackathon, we got a platform to do that. The circuit design track spoke to us like it was the most desirable one. And since we were already searching for hardware hackathons, we are hardware enthusiasts. So that's why this track and this hackathon was perfect for us.
Yeah, that's great to hear that our hackathon overcame the barriers and spread all across Europe and over to India as well. For my next question, it's the same basically as I asked Sergey. What is your proposal to the challenge of the hackathon? And maybe you could give us a short summary on that.
Right. What our project is actually about is to provide or develop an economically viable solution for a communication module for industries that can reduce the distance and like take data from the sensors and deliver it to the master module and like where people work without having the people who are in charge of that to be present there physically. So this idea uses rather modern solution. We were trying to impose the LoRa technology. However, we will be implementing that in future. We will be including that for our further work.
Great, thank you very much for those insights. Furthermore, since you've been working on your project for 24 hours almost now, what was your main challenge you have faced in the past 24 hours?
The challenge was interacting with the modules that we have been provided for this hackathon, for the circuit design track, and then implementing the codes, like going through the data sheet and finding out the codes and finding out the perfect ones to match with our microcontroller. So that was the main challenge till now, and we are still trying to figure out how to get a handle of that, how to work with that. There are some problems, but Norbert is great. He's helping us out at Track Mentor. Like we are trying our best.
That's great to hear. Norbert Imlich, for everyone who didn't participate.
As well as Bashar.
Yesterday, he is one of our mentors and track owners at this hackathon, and he's supporting, as you see, our participants very, very well. Yes, so you've spoken about your challenges in the 24 hours laying past us. What are your next steps on your hackathon track?
Yes, we will be building the circuit now, like once we are done dealing with the microcontroller and its codes, and we will go on to further completing the circuit and make it seamlessly run. We will try to make it as completed as much as possible before the deadline, and that's all. And we will also try to give a good presentation, like a pitch. We will be working hard for that.
Yes. I like to hear that. That's great. Yeah, and my final question to you as well, Deblina. How do you profit from taking part in a virtual hackathon like that?
It's absolutely an honor to be participating in an international hackathon. If it wasn't virtual, I don't think, as we are from India, we would be having this opportunity to participate here or anywhere. But since it is virtual and we are getting to interact with many people, as Sergey said, that we are being able to make new contacts, mingle with people who are from different origins and different backgrounds, as well as interact with industries that we are interested in. So that's a great opportunity for us.
All right, thank you so much. I'm pretty sure that we are also going to be able to connect you to our colleagues over there in India, because Infineon has one of its subsidiaries there. And yeah, thank you so much, Deblina, for this interview. I wish you all the best for the upcoming 24 hours. And we will see each other tomorrow at noon at our award ceremony. All the best and take care.
Thank you, Markus.
Thank you. All right, and our final person to interview is going to be Yannick Romer. Yannick, can you hear me? Are you in line?
I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Yes, loud and clear.
Nice.
Yannick, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and I hope my teammates are fine as well.
Have you?
It was a short night, but we are on a good way, I guess.
Short night, no sleep. How do you communicate with your teammates?
Luckily, yesterday we could all go to the office in Villach. We are all in the same department. So we had this opportunity, which was really nice. And today we are all working from home.
Okay.
So, and in the evening, we also worked at home together over the WebEx. It's kind of difficult because we only work with programming code. So it's hard to communicate and show others your code and stuff like that.
I see.
But
so you've taken my question already that I wanted to ask you. I see. So you've chosen the circuit design track, right? Or do you use the 3D?
No,
track?
we choose the 3D track.
All right, that was my accident there. So you chose the 3D track. Why did you choose it?
Well, it was more like a last second participation, because we saw last week in the Infineon email that there is a hackathon, and we thought, yeah, why should we not represent Infineon in Villach? And then our studies, we are all master students in Stuttgart from Germany, and our studies are based on robotics and kinematic. And so we thought the 3D track would fit us well.
Great, thank you for those insights. I'm happy to have my fellow Infineon representatives with me on this hackathon. What is your actual proposal on the chosen challenge? Maybe just give us a short summary on that.
Yes, the goal is to implement a camera to the robotic arm, and we want the arm to have vision, so it can pick up objects. For example, if you have a 3D printer and it prints an object, you don't know how it will look at the end. So the robot can pick the object up.
All right, I understand.
The orientation and how he has to compute his arm.
All right, thank you. And we know what you do, and maybe you can tell us a bit more about what your challenge was in the past 24 hours.
So the real challenge for us was that the whole program is in JavaScript, and we're more familiar with other programming languages. So we are all like, it's a new language for us, and we have to look in the code where the things are, and first we have to orientate us. And yes, it's kind of difficult to put more things in the code and not to get more errors, because we do something to get complications with the old code.
I understand. So you're still having some challenges to face, and those challenges, what will they be in the next upcoming hours until our closing ceremony tomorrow?
Well, the upcoming challenges are, I think our camera should work soon. So the next challenge is to get the 3D map for our robot to measure the points where they should be and to calculate the movement for the robot, how he can pick objects up.
All right. And my last question for you as well. How do you actually profit from taking part in a virtual hackathon like this?
Well, we profit a lot, I guess, because it's our first hackathon and it's a cool experience to feel how it is to really do something for 48 hours or a bit more. But it's also hard to stay focused all the time, so you don't stay on the track. And what we learn is to how we manage our coding and who does which job, and it's a good experience, I guess.
That's great to hear. I think that was it. All the best for the upcoming 24 hours. Thank you for being with us at this hackathon. I'm looking forward to your presentations and pitches tomorrow. And yeah, see you then.
Thank you.
All right, this wraps up all our interviews for today. As you can see, our participants have taken a deep dive into their challenges, and they are currently in the phase of proving their concept and analyzing lots and lots of data derived from the technologies presented to them. Yes, we are very excited to see them collaborating so professionally and closely with Infineon, given the circumstances that we are virtually available. And yeah, this concludes our check-in session for today of the Virtual Hackathon powered by EIT Manufacturing.